So, after sending most of you to sleep with my soothing, monotone voice and my delicate way of describing the utter carnage that was our past, as promised, in this episode, I will be looking into the bizarre, creepy and downright terrifying apparitions that have been witnessed in and around Cardiff Castle, as well as the surrounding area. All of these stories have either come from staff of the properties, eyewitness accounts, my own experiences, or, at a push, from the internet. I know that last one comes across as lazy, but it is incredibly difficult to chase down former employees of a shopping centre that closed down. Not many people are willing to breach the confidentiality of past colleagues to a random fat hairy man from the internet asking about ghosts. It's hard enough to get people to part with experiences as it is without looking like a weirdo. I do a good enough job of that in my day-to-day life. But enough about me, let's talk about the ghosts. I was hoping that this was just going to be a single episode, but it looks like there might be more than one. I didn't quite realize how many stories I've actually got. But let's start with the castle. As previously stated, I've been dragging my arse around Cardiff for a while, trying to find stories. When it came to go into the castle, it wasn't the best time for me to see it. The staff were under a bit of pressure with the volume of people around the gaff since it was Christmas, and a winter fairground with ice skating ring had been set up within the grounds. As a result, this required me to do a bit of Googling since I'm too tight to pay for another ticket on the quieter day. As they say, hard excrement. Having said that, I already had one story before I even started my channel. This story always creeped me out in many ways, and since doing my minuscule amount of research has given me a bit more of a chill. Firstly, as I stated in part 1 of this episode, the castle was constructed around an existing Roman fort. Since then, both staff and visitors have witnessed the apparition of a Roman soldier wandering the cellar and around the perimeter of the Roman wall. As they turn to look at him, he's no longer there. On occasions, a large number of soldiers trooping in formation have been spotted walking through one side of the tunnels and through the opposite wall. Very reminiscent of the soldiers of the famous Treasurer's House in York, covered in episode 15. I'll leave a link in the description and in the top corner now. Within the main stately home part of the castle, which was constructed by the Marquis of Bute, several strange occurrences have been seen and felt. From icy cold spots despite the sun blazing outside, to orbs and objects moving in front of security cameras at night when no one is in the building, and even childlike giggling in the nursery. In this room, several things have been seen, from the rocking horse gently rocking on its own, to the figure of Lady Sophia Crichton Stewart sat in the corner watching over the room. Why she'd be in this room when she passed away in Edinburgh is beyond me. It's a nice room though, so maybe that has something to do with it. Within the castle library, strange things have also been heard and spotted. From the sounds of ghostly footsteps walking the halls, to shadowy figures hiding in the dark corners. And then we come to the castle motte. Now brace yourselves for a bit of a backstory to this one. When I was 19, I was dating a howler. Everyone has a crazy ex, but this girl was grade A creme de la creme nutter. For obvious reasons, I will not say her name, as it would be very unfair on her. And, although she probably wouldn't ever see this video, I live in fear that she'd appear out of the woodwork. Some things are more terrifying than ghosts and ghouls. Anyhow, she had a habit of announcing that she could see things. From a bloke hanging in the corner of a hotel room when we were staying in Berlin, which resulted in me moving the bed around the room for the best part of 3 hours, until I finally said, well, tough shit, you'll have to deal with it, to ringing me up at 10 p.m. crying because she thought that there was someone in her cupboard. After 3 hours of me trying to persuade her that there was no one in her cupboard and hanging up the phone, I eventually got a text message saying that there was no one in there, and because I wasn't any help, she had to take matters into her own hands and open it with a broom. I can feel my blood pressure rising as I tell this story. Anyway, one day I thought that it would be nice for us to get out of the house. Her being from a foreign country, I thought it would be nice to take her to see the castle. We wandered around the stately home and the Roman walls before heading to the medieval motte in the centre. I was fitter and leaner then than I am now, and bounded up the stairs. As we got to the top of the steps, she stopped and immediately turned around to go back down without going into the castle itself. When I asked why, she told me that she couldn't go in because there was a ghostly figure of a little girl staring at her from the left window in dirty clothes. I don't mind telling you that by this point in the relationship, I couldn't give two shits, and informed her that since I paid, I was going to go to the top of the castle motte with or without her. I went up, I saw the views, I had a lovely time, and even waved to her from the top of the keep. This earned me 2 weeks in a doghouse and 2 weeks of absolute bliss. Fast forward several years, and I am now with a new girlfriend who definitely was not crazy. We decided to go on a ghost walk. When the walk had finished, the guide announced that he was due to start running tours of other locations, including Margam Castle and Cardiff Castle. This caused a neuron to fire in the old grey matter as I remembered the fateful day that gifted me so much peace and quiet. As I started to tell him about what she'd said, he stopped me mid-sentence, saying, "Don't tell me, you saw the ghost of a little girl in medieval clothing." By now my arse had fallen out. When he saw my expression, he asked if it was in the left window of the motte. This encounter freaked me out, as you would imagine, especially if a geezer hanging in a hotel room in Berlin had been watching me shift the bed around his room for 3 hours like a supervisor. When doing my research on the ghosts of Cardiff Castle, one of the most common sights is that of a small girl in medieval clothing who is seen running through the grounds of the castle. So who knows? She may not have been as mad as I thought. I doubt it, but you never know. Anyway, that's all from us here at Dark Entertainment. We hope that you've enjoyed the episode. And if so, please leave a like, give us a big thumbs up, and drop a comment down below. Those thumbs up really help the channel grow. If you would like to get in touch with me, you can get in touch with me via X or Facebook, or if you've got a story or a location that you would like me to investigate, please feel free to contact me at dark_entertainment@outlook.com. And remember, stay dark, stay creepy, and always laugh. Ta-ta!